The Body Shop connects you with the hottest fitness models in the world. Learn the backstage secrets that most successful bikini divas, fitness models, and bodybuilders use to dominate their competition and land on the covers of magazines. Only here at the Body Shop will we allow you to listen and talk to the best in fitness competition. If you're passionate about bodybuilding and fitness, you have found your new home. All of us here at FTNS Radio would like to welcome you to the Body Shop. Body Shop. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome your host, Andre Brick St. Clair.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Body Shop. Thank you for allowing the Body Shop and FTNS into your homes as well as in through your airwaves. Only here at the Body Shop will you learn the backstage secrets that the most successful bikini divas, models, and bodybuilders use to crush their competitions and land on the covers of magazines. In the studio with me is my co-host, Mr. Brian Canone.
What's happening, Andre?
How you doing today, Brian?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah?
Not bad at all.
Okay.
Doing pretty good. Hey, I got a question for you.
What's up, man?
Natural bodybuilding, you're a huge fan.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Who's your most inspirational person?
Believe it or not, you're probably not going to believe me, but you do know this individual, okay? There's actually two. One of them is named after a very popular IFBB pro bodybuilder, and that's Ron Coleman.
Okay.
All right. The other one is a guy that I met back in 2002, and his name is Greg Rando.
Well, let me tell you a little bit about this guy. In a fiercely competitive sport, bodybuilding, Greg Rando has achieved a unique status by overcoming a major handicap.
That's right. Now, what was that major handicap?
Blindness. Okay.
Right.
His victories in natural bodybuilding show are a source of inspiration for the handicapped and to everyone else.
Right.
In a sport known for its athletes' chiseled, fully developed bodies, Greg cannot see how he looks.
That's true.
Okay. Yet Greg has chosen to pursue competitive bodybuilding. His long-time passion has taken him to a threshold of few natural bodybuilders, disabled or otherwise, can obtain. And this inspirational, person, I mean, it's just pretty. I remember that year that he guest posed.
Yeah.
And we talked a little bit about his bio, and then the American flag just rose up.
That's right.
And he was just there to do his posing routine.
Right.
Just an amazing performance. It was just seeing him win. I actually went to Team Universe a few times when then he finally won. He was always a contender in that show. Always standing ovation. See,
one of the most successful and memorable things that stood out to me about Greg was not so much his blindness, although it is a remarkable feat to have someone overcome, as you would put it, a handicap. I think Greg would see it more so as like a minor obstacle.
Yeah.
Okay. What stands out to me most about Greg, and when I did briefly speak with him, was the fact that Greg manages to not just train for competitions, not knowing how he looks, but this man also runs a successful gym in Boston.
Did you ever come up with me to his gym?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
He outlaid for me his whole personal training business. It was just amazing. Just not the fact that he does it, but how he did his personal training in his gym, and how everybody came in, stopped, and shook his hand each day.
Well, see, the thing is, you know how I am. I love bodybuilding. I love fitness. I love all sports in general. What I don't like is when people use excuses that someone else wished that was their only obstacle. I'm having a hard time at work, so I can't go to the gym today.
I got bad genetics.
Yeah, that's the
my job won't let me eat.
That's the biggest load of crap I've ever heard, and it frustrates somebody like me that's so passionate about bodybuilding and fitness. I just can't stand excuses. It's like, do it or don't do it.
Right.
But do not trash the people that dedicate their lives to this, this sport, and they want to get themselves in shape. So I know that you reached out to Greg.
Yeah.
So let's get him on, and I want you to do the introduction for him. Go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Go ahead. You can't do it? I'll take
You
it.
do it.
I'll take it. Excuse me. Ladies and gentlemen, right here at the Body Shop, I would like to bring on a source of inspiration. This man is living proof that you can overcome any obstacle, whether it's seen or unseen, no pun intended. This man has never felt sorry for himself. He goes out there, he does what is necessary, and not only is he a champion, but he is the purest definition of the word professional. Please welcome to the Body Shop, Mr. Greg Rando. Greg, how you doing out there, man?
Hey, great, Andre, Brian. How you guys doing?
Oh, man, I'm
Everything's
doing
good.
great, man. You know what? It's been a long time since I've seen you. I met you back in 2002. I'm not sure if you remember me or not. You know, we're going on almost 10 years. What have you been up to?
Well, I've been keeping with it. I've been keeping active in bodybuilding here up here in Massachusetts, and working and running my personal training business, and just training for the next show. As bodybuilders, we have those goals that we set out for ourselves that help us stay motivated, and
Right.
That's what I've been doing along the way, is just trying to find set out that next goal and make that path or that plan to that's necessary to carry out to conquer it. But yeah, just working and married now, and life is good.
Okay. Nice. When did you get married?
2008, the summer of 2008. So it's going on 3 years now. Actually,
Oh, wow.
I think it's just over 3 years now. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Now, Greg, did you propose or did she propose to you?
I did the proposing. I'll tell you what, though, guys, right? I'll tell you what, I did the proposing, but she asked me out on the first date.
There you go. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
All right. But, yeah, no, Andre, I don't remember you, but speaking with you, but I'm sure I had some awesome experiences down there in Connecticut
Right.
at Brian's show, and those are some of my earliest but best memories is of bodybuilding, and really all of us around here, we really appreciate what you guys have done for bodybuilding in this area, for sure.
Well, thank you very much for that. Really appreciate that. Let me start off with the first question that I love to ask all of my guests. And for you, Greg, that is, when did you first fall in love with fitness?
Well, I've always been into sports. I grew up. I always had a ball in my hand. I was always watching sports on TV, and I just loved everything to do with it, and all kinds of sports. And as I got older, I realized that I wasn't going to be playing sports. My vision when I was young was pretty good, so I was able to partake in all sports: hockey, baseball, everything. But as I get older, not only was I not good enough, but I didn't have the vision to be able to continue playing team sports. So that's when I saw, I think it was like 80, 81, whenever it was, I saw The Terminator, and I had no idea who Arnold Schwarzenegger was.
Right.
But I saw this guy and how awesome he looked, and it was from then on, walking out of that movie theater, I said, oh, I want to look like that, So it was, I had always had, I was real young then, but I had always had in my mind that I wanted to, as I got older, that I was going to be lifting weights and be the, I wanted to have the best physique around, and that was a goal to me, and I knew that to have the best physique around meant that I had to learn a lot and put in a lot of time, and
Right.
and that's what I was willing to do. But so I'd say it was right around that time, early 80s, that I knew that I really had a passion for it, and it was probably it was late 80s, right when I graduated high school, like 89, that I got my first set of weights, and never stopped lifting.
Never stopped it, huh?
Never stopped, yeah.
When you decided to step on stage for the very first time, okay, what was that experience like for you?
Well, it was completely frightening and nerve-wracking. I'm sure a lot of people feel these same feelings, with a disability or without, just getting up in front of people and on a stage. I still, having done it myself, I still really give it up to people who do that, But yeah, I was so green. I was working out. I had been working out for 3-4 years, and I started to see some muscle popping out. The next step was, I was encouraged to compete, and I was so immature at it. I was lacked very much. I lacked confidence up there in my posing, so
right.
I think added to my nervousness. But you guys, I'm not sure if you both competed or not, but I think you can ask anyone. And it's like when you walk off that stage, you go out in the lineup and you're nervous, and it's like a flash. The time goes by, and then you're walking off, and then it kind of hit me right then and there. That,
right.
Wow, I mean, that was so nerve-wracking, and I didn't know what I was doing, but it was an incredible feeling, and I want to do it again.
Yeah. I actually, Brian and myself, we did compete. Brian's quite a few years older than I am.
Quite a few.
You are
Thanks.
quite a few years older than I am. It's actually kind of interesting how things come around full circle, because Brian competed. I was just more so into just being a bodyguard and bouncer and so on and so forth. Brian, saw me at his gym and convinced me to eventually compete. And the same experience that you just talked about, going on stage and just, being a nervous wreck, and my palms were sweaty, my mouth was dry. I'm trying to choke back water, and that's not doing anything. And then once I get off stage, I'm like, I want to do it again, and now to hear that come out of you.
Was that your first year, though? 2002 was your show, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it was your first show.
It was my first show.
Greg was the guest poser.
Absolutely.
I thought that. That's why I looked at you and I said, wait a second. That was your first show.
That was my first show.
And I helped him with his diet all the way through it, and he fought me the whole way.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did, because it was very hard to go from being 245 pounds. I was about 17% body fat, so that's good enough to be security guard for someone, to drop down. I think Brian got me down to like 197 at like 5% body fat, and it was weird to just feel the difference in how my clothes felt on me. I'm always used to being the big guy. Now I'm like the average size guy. I'm just I'm actually just more shredded.
Greg, who helped you along the way to really kind of be your eyes for you and kind of tell you what to do and how to guide you through it?
Well, I've always been fortunate to be around some other competitive bodybuilders and some of the best in the country. I actually lived with Jose Raymond for 3 years. He and I are friends, and we still work together. Didn't live with, but lived down the street and around Tito Raymond, his brother. We'd all get together all the time and work out and just have a lot of fun. Also, Craig Torres. I know Brian. I think you know Craig from up in this area. He's done a lot of competitions, a lot of amateur events along the way, and my old business partner Miles Betcha. All these guys have competed and are very passionate about the sport, and we'd all train together, we'd all pose together, and they would all bring something to the table, and you'd just be able to, just like in life, you'd be able to pick and choose things that may relate to you or that you might find more intuitive and apply those to your practice. So, been influenced by a lot of good bodybuilders, and my girlfriends, including my wife, now they've been around the sport. They have a good eye for it, and they're able to help out too, and give you the feedback you need.
Oh, Greg, the fact that you have this obstacle that you have to overcome, and you got a lot of great people, by your side and training you and guiding you. Are some movements still difficult for you, or you basically have it under control?
Training wise, Andre?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah, not really, to tell you the truth. People, tend to think that free weight exercises, movements, they might be more challenging for me, and
right.
they're really not any more challenging for me than they are for anyone else. I think that when how you've heard you lose one sense and you improve on others.
Yes.
And that's very true. And I know balance isn't one of the senses, but it's something that I feel that I have improved, and that I have been able to improve on because of my lack of awareness in my surroundings sometimes. So like standing up and doing free weight exercises are not really a problem for me.
Okay. When it comes to your diet, and prior to you getting married, were you doing your own cooking, or did you have a nutritionist or a chef that would come in?
I usually did it all myself. I mean, other than, my girlfriend's helping out along the way, I usually did it all myself. And, I got to be honest with you now, guys. I don't think I could do it nowadays. It's just, when you're younger and you're starting out and you're tireless.
Right.
On top of your everyday life and the training and physical work that's necessary, I don't know, that all that other stuff gets to be a little overwhelming now. So really fortunate to, have my wife, who plays a big role in terms of support for me to help me out with that stuff.
Right.
I just remember how impressed I was when I came up to your gym that time, and you just took me in the back office and you showed me kind of how your personal training worked. And every person that came through was pretty much like given 3 personal training sessions with their membership, and they were based on 30-minute time slots. And you and your partner Miles did all of the training for every member that came through, and it was mandatory, I believe, that everybody received these 3 training sessions. Right. And then it was, for them, most people continued with the personal training after that with the 30-minute sessions, and it was just so ahead of its time in how you did that. And I was so impressed with how family oriented your club was. It was very, very tight and very friendly in there, and it was just, I was very impressed. And then talking about like Jose and all the guys, pretty much your afternoons, how you left them open to be able to train and have all the guys come in and really like work out really hard, and then go back to work later in the afternoon. It was pretty amazing how everything worked out for you like that. I was very impressed.
Yeah, Brian, it really was. Looking back on it, there was some great days down the gym, and we were blessed to be able to, have a nice gym that developed a nice community feel to it, and with word of mouth and just the reputation we were able to develop, it just really took off well. And the personal training, what's so great about that is Miles and I, own the business. We did all the training together, and this is our livelihood. I still do this. This is 15 years later, and I've run the gamut. I've learned a lot. From one end of the spectrum to the other. I was a beginner, never having done it, just learned and studied it. But it's that along with the practical experience, that makes you a good trainer. And I feel like I've come a long way with the training, and those days of working side by side with somebody and sharing information with somebody to which helps you to improve, along with the experience that we had with all those people, has allowed me to make a good living today and be very successful with my clientele today. Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of bodybuilders and fitness models that just really didn't put their life together like you had it. It was like everything was very much like in place, and it's very impressive to see that, because so many guys, that we meet along the way, in this sport are kind of all over the place, or they're into it for a little while and then get out of it. And it's nice to see someone like yourself that just sticks through it, and just has been very successful and had success, because it's very planned. It just seemed very planned out. Like you guys knew what you were doing, and there was structure to it, and it worked.
Yeah, it's true how everything fell into place. But guys, it's the whole old cliche that just every day do the best you can, and and if you do the best you can every day, then and you're positive and you keep reaching out and visualizing those thoughts and those goals of yours, then it'll happen for you. You just gotta stick with it and persevere, because when we opened those doors and we didn't have anybody come, any members or any money coming in, you just had to stay positive, believe, and you had to the work that we were we did have initially. We just had to do the best we can so we could build on that, and everything kind of fell into place. So nice, and even today I was able. I don't own the gym anymore. I was able to sell it, and it was very rewarding to be able to look back on that experience and see how. We graduated college. We found a spot with some friends. We built it. We knocked it down. We built it up and made a successful business out of it. And then we sold it off, and we were able to kind of ride off into the sunset, so to speak. It was a really great chapter of my life, and feel very fortunate for all the experiences we were able to gain from that.
Well, do you know that he was on the Olympia stage?
As a poser?
Yes.
As a guest poser?
No.
Wait, hold on. So
I was the guy with the towel that cleans up.
Yeah. Well, tell us how it was when you qualified for Olympia and how that happened.
Well, I was trying my hand at the IFBB shows, and I did some local, some things. I did the Toronto that year. I did this the Carolina show in Charlotte. I did the Charlotte that year, which was my best finish. And at the Charlotte, it was like at the end of the season, and this was the year Robin Chang and the Muscle Fitness crew, they had that wild card Olympia, which is all they did is they invited like 10 new IFBB pros to do like a exhibition, at the Olympia. It was like all us 10 would go up against each other, and they just crowned one winner. David Henry smoked the rest of us and took his money. And, But so that was it was an incredible experience, being in the pump-up room with all those guys, especially the night of the finals, pumping up and going out on that stage. And the prejudging, there were like 4,000 plus people, I think, which is for the prejudging, and I did my routine, and I got like a standing ovation, which I've been so fortunate to have over the years. But in Vegas, where I don't compete out west and never competed in Vegas, or actually I did do the USA's one year, but it's just amazing the response I get out of that, and that was kind of the icing on top. Everything, the experience, the aura of the whole event was cool, and then to get like a response as I did was like amazing. So yeah.
Now, Greg, do you? I want to ask this question, but I want you to understand the sincerity in which I'm going to say it. We have a lot of competitors, bodybuilders, and other athletes, and when I ask them this question, they shy away from the answer. And my question to you is this right here. Would you consider yourself an inspiration to others, or would you consider yourself more so as a role model?
That's funny. I've never been asked that question, and I like it because it's, I constantly get asked about how I feel being an inspiration, and I like this question because I think I love it. I want to inspire people, and it help educate them on the health and fitness principles that have brought me so much, that have given me so much self-confidence, self-esteem. But I think that inside I'd like to be considered even more of a role model because I don't like to portray myself as somebody who's let's say larger than life, for lack of a better term, or somebody who's got big muscles or good physique. I don't like to be come up to anybody like I'm better than anybody, or just because I'm bigger, or I've won this or won that. And in fact, that's a huge turnoff to me when it comes to bodybuilders and athletes. The humility is the thing that I think is most attractive to me, and I think that I'd like to portray myself more as a role model and use the humility, or try to be as humble as I can to do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I want to not, I don't want to be considered somebody on a different level. I want to be considered the same, and let's get you there. Let's help you to achieve that. I'm here with my experience to help others achieve that and to inspire them along the way. But people of all ages, all abilities, disabled or not, I want to inspire them by conveying to them how health and fitness has helped me to grow as a person, helped me to reach my goals, and to improve my overall health.
That's a definite thing right there. All right, Greg, listen, I need you to hold tight because I do have to cut to commercial. When we come back, we're going to get more and more in depth with you as an individual, and then with you as a bodybuilder. So you stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. You're listening to The Body Shop. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to The Body Shop. I am your host, Andre Brooks Sinclair. My in-studio co-host is Mr. Brian Canone.
Andre.
And on the line, we have champion bodybuilder. And I consider this man to be a world champion athlete who just happens to be blind. I don't like when people give Greg an introduction and they say, oh, here's a blind bodybuilder and a world champion. I believe no, you don't build up somebody's attributes by saying something negative about them. So please welcome back Mr. Greg Rando. And also joining us in the studio is a man that used to compete with Greg Rando in the federation, and that is Mr. Ralph Remy. What's up, Ralph? How you doing, man?
What's up, man? How are you? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Now, I got Greg on the line.
Okay.
All right, so I want you to say hello to Greg.
Hi, Greg. How are you?
Good, Ralph. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Excellent. Great to be a part of this show with these guys.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's my first time in the show, believe it or not.
All right, so right before the commercial, I was asking Greg if he feels he's more of a role model, or is he more of an inspiration, or would he like to be an inspiration to other athletes? His answer to me was very inspiring, and that is, he just wants to inspire people and help them to achieve the greatness that they can, but he wants it to be on a level playing field. you know, and I find that very, very remarkable. Now, Greg, let me get into more about you as an individual, okay? I know earlier in your youth, you know, your vision was better. It wasn't perfect. And you played various sports, you know, football and wrestling, stuff like that. But prior to bodybuilding, what was your favorite sport?
To play, my favorite sport?
Yeah.
Probably basketball.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'd say so. You know, it's just like we played so much basketball. I played all the organized sports, but you know, friends that just play basketball all day long. So, you know, we really enjoyed playing the game.
Okay.
Is there anything that you miss that you used to do when you were younger, that you feel that the site has kind of made it very difficult for you?
Just you know, just not you know, just you know, kind of everything. My vision's deteriorated over the years, so there's a lot of physical activity I'm not able to partake in anymore. What you getting at? Anything?
No, I was just wondering, you know, I mean, I'm just driving a car or skiing or certain things that you once did.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, see, that's the thing. I never drove a car. I wasn't able. My vision, it started regressing when I was about 6, 7, and it really got to the point where it was significant loss when I was about 14. So, never got to drive, you know, vehicle. But it was kind of a big blow, you know, being growing up playing Little League, playing hockey, organized hockey, football, all that stuff. And then come post-freshman year, you know, Dad and the doctor pulling back and saying, you know, you can't do it anymore, you know, for you know, you get, you know, contact, you get injury by contact, or, you know, one time I got a ball in the eye, and, you know, just risk of injury.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I remember you telling me you were about to get a computer that you were able to use, like a special computer. Did you ever do that?
Yep. I've had computers that have talking software. They have full screen readers on them, so I can, you know, pretty much fully integrate with them. And, you know, now I have a phone I can text with. It talks to me. This technology is so prevalent nowadays. It's a lot easier than it used to be. But yeah, a lot of adaptive devices for me nowadays, and you know, now that I'm kind of settled into my life with my job and family situation here, it's into a good routine where things are very, you know, very convenient for me, so to speak. You know?
So, like a typical day for you, when you get up in the morning, you have breakfast stuff, and you're off to work. So, do you have to then have somebody take you to work, though, right?
Yeah, well, my gym's only about 10 to 15 minutes away, depending on traffic. So if my wife doesn't drive me, I just take a taxi. We bought a house here in a good location that it's really convenient to get around. If I need the train, it's right across going into the Boston Garden. It's right across the street. If I need a taxi, they're very convenient, and you know, work's not that far. And then of course my wife and friends. So, you know, it's like one of those things where it's been so long now that you just adapt, and that's the way it is. And you find the easiest, most sensible, you know, ways around situations, and it becomes normal. You know. I was telling somebody the other day, I think it'd be more difficult if I never had my vision, because, you know, I know what colors look like. I know what grass looks like. I've had a lot of you know, vivid memories. You know.
Hey, Greg, when was your last time being on stage?
It was a year ago, June.
Okay.
Yep.
Do you have any aspirations to continue to compete, or was that your last time?
No, I actually, I'm 6 days into my diet. I'm 14 weeks out from the WNBF World Championships.
Okay.
And I'm going to be doing that this November in New York. And looking forward to that. Really looking forward to it.
Let me get a little bit of your diet secrets. Like, you know what? Just give me a typical diet day for you.
Typical diet day, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, all right. Let's see. I get up in the morning. Usually, I start my day with rice and beans. I like to have brown rice and beans first meal a day. It's low in animal protein, easy to assimilate, and it really gets my energy up and keeps it going at the outset of the day.
Okay.
After that, I'll have the oatmeal and eggs. Then I start with the tilapia and vegetables. After that, maybe, let's say, chicken and a sweet potato, another tilapia and vegetable meal, maybe some red meat or like a filet or something at night with a salad, and maybe another tilapia meal after that. I usually have 6 meals plus a protein shake following my workout.
Okay.
And I try to have at least 3 meals of tilapia, and then my 2 other protein meals consist of chicken, turkey, and red meat. And that's 6 protein meals, and then I have 3 carb meals. I'll stagger those throughout the day. I'll have a rice, I'll have a sweet potato, or I'll have a rice and oatmeal and a sweet potato. Those are my 3 carb meals, about 40 grams per, and then around that I'll have some vegetables and salad.
Okay. Are you a big supporter of using supplements as opposed to dieting? The reason that I asked that question is when you're talking about your dieting, okay, you're eating a lot of protein, and a lot of competitors who are coming up in the sport or are new to the sport, they rely on protein shakes to get their protein in. So I want to know, like, you did mention that you do have a shake after your workout, but are there other supplements that you're using, or do you primarily just rely on the food to get the nutrients that you need?
Until recently, I used to have a lot more protein shakes. And by saying a lot, I mean like at least 2, usually 3 a day. Mm-hmm. And I pretty much took them all out, and I just do the one following the workout now. What I've realized by working with some of the experts in the field, I've learned that protein shakes are good. They have essential amino acids that are vital for recovery, but they also are, they can stunt the metabolism, and that's a big part of dieting, is training that metabolism, getting that metabolism revved up and going. And I realized that what I was doing is, in a way, kind of shooting myself in the foot, getting it going with food in the morning, then protein shake and kind of killing it, and then having another meal and getting it revved up, and then kind of killing it again with another protein shake. So I've learned to try to work with my metabolism a little better by having more food, more meals, solid meals than shakes. Yeah.
Right. Are you able to feel the difference once you made the switch from pre-digestive proteins over to more of a animal protein?
Do I feel a difference?
Yeah.
In absorption, assimilation, stuff like that?
Yes.
I think that, I think the protein shakes are so simple form of those proteins that they get utilize very quickly, where
Right.
other whole proteins, they get in the stomach. Protein takes, up to 45 minutes to digest, and it takes place in the stomach. So it takes a little while for that to occur, and because of that alone, it'll slow down the absorption, and I guess which in turn will crank up the metabolism, right?
Right.
Yeah. So.
Do you do a lot of cardio too, getting ready?
Yeah, I do. I do cardio every day of the year, and I do it in season, off season. I get up every morning at 5 to 5:30 in that area, and I do 50 minutes of cardio every day of the year.
How much?
50.
50 minutes. 50.
Oh my God.
I know. I'm believe it or not, I'm addicted to it.
Wow.
And you know what else? It really,
Wow.
the circulation that it promotes first thing in the morning,
Right.
it just gets me, awake. It gets me loose if there's anything stiff or tight. And I keep telling my wife this, and I don't know if she thinks I'm whacked crazy or not, but I feel like it allows me to see a little better, provided that circulation, that oxygen, maybe circulation to my eyes or whatnot. But
Wow.
all that being said, I'm really, I wake up every morning. I can't think of enough reasons to stay in bed, so I get up there and I do that and start my day with it.
What type of cardio do you do?
Usually the elliptical. I have a little variety up here in my house, so I'll do the elliptical usually, and sometimes the bike. Pretty much it, exclusively there.
I'm still finding it hard to believe that you're doing 50 minutes of cardio. Not because I don't believe you, but one, to me, that's just a lot. I know I can't do that. And then
I find it strange he stops at 50 instead of doing the whole hour.
Me too.
Hey, he's a quitter. I mean, what else is there to say?
Instead of 45, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. See, so you throw an extra 5 in, for the non-believers. I like that.
I do
like
45. That's it.
See, Ralph does 45, Greg does 50, Bricks does 20. Brian ain't doing anything. When we come back, I'm going to find out, a little bit more about Greg. I want our listeners to know a little bit more about Greg. And I know that Ralph has some questions for Greg. So, Greg, I need you to just hold tight, okay? We'll be right back after the break, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to The Body Shop. We'll be right back.